Hey everybody, welcome back to Comeback vs. Debut. I'm Montblanc, a Gen 2 K-pop veteran who's been out of the loop for over a decade. In my journey to get to know the new modern scene, I started a series where I check out the latest and also the first music videos from modern K-pop artists that I'm trying to get to know. Today, that group is Aespa, which means we'll be checking out their comeback track, Lemonade, alongside with their debut track, Black Mamba. I'm pretty much brand new to this group. I've only seen Rich Man, but from that little tiny bit, I think that quality is probably incoming. I do wonder if they've had that quality from the very beginning, but it is SM, so let's find out. So far, I've been kind of impressed with this, let's say, latest generation of SM artists. They seem to have gone a really interesting direction, and it almost feels like they have a little bit more authenticity than they used to. But I'm a historic SM hater, so we'll see what Aespa has in store. Okay, Lemonade.
I going all the way. Don't step on the brakes. I take my drama straight. I'll make you lemonade. Cup up, she walk my way. Don't jump.
Great bass line.
I take my karma straight. I'll make you lemonade. Wait, hold up, no. I can't control my mind. Security crashing, 고민은 just 삼켜버린 damn. Apologies in advance, but show up and I get way too loud. Gay or not, me, myself, and I, that's all mine. With the blessing true about your own thoughts, you probably shouldn't talk right now. Like zip, I don't care. I can tell whatever, put it all up on my body, the confession. 서로 다른 세계들을 다 같이만 일어나는 action. Dirty dancing, I'ma go hot, don't know what happened. Cause my day to day's in a different lane at a speed that you're never catching up. I go in all the...
You know, it's always a little bit useless to compare groups a little bit, but this does kind of give me walking down a similar path to the new era of XG. I've only seen like little snippets and bits, and like I think I saw Hypnotize from them. Wait, is that the one? Anyway, no, Gala. Anyway, this like new era of like really driving it's kind of housey, but they do push into like a tech house arena, which is definitely up my alley.
Don't step on the brakes. I take my drama straight. I'll make you lemonade. Cup up, she walk my way. Don't jump on the stage.
There's something like super professional about these girls. Yep.
Oh my god, stop. Your body 문제 다 mix it like a hurricane with your pieces. All the lemons 난 깔아 마셔다. I don't care if you say I'm freaky. 표정으로는 say bye. Muchas gracias, mi amor. 전부 삼켜내 like a piece of cake. Let me watch you still waiting for. Yeah. I go in all the way. Don't step on the brakes. I take my drama straight. I'll make you lemonade. Cup up, she walk my way. Touch her on my stage. I take my karma straight.
There's such a like unreal level of professional polish with these girls, which is something that I kind of noticed in Rich Man as well. They feel like they're much farther along in their career than they are, because it's been, I think, like 5 years. I can double check that once we get to Black Mamba, but like they seem incredibly settled in what they're doing, and I do wonder if they had like a longer training period than maybe normal average idols do. I mean, there is that like piece of SM that's always going to push their artists to the limit, but this is also there's like a, from what I've seen, almost like a Matrix stamp to these girls. I like it. I like this song too. It's really cool.
emergency contact. 모든 건 날 위한 party. Bring me that new flavor, you know. 더 큰 세상으로. Welcome back to my world. I'ma stand all on my own. 어디다도 now I can go.
It's like a type of confidence that is unmatched. Very cool.
Wait, hold up, stop.
Whoa. There's like a lower level of hype to this. Like, it's not like screaming and losing your minds. It's like just cool and confident and powerful. Wow. I can't think of like any other group or dynamic to kind of compare them to. They're really in their own lane. How does this happen? They all seem very confident, and the fact that it's just a 4-member group is number one. I love that. I love smaller groups because you get to see so many different sides of the same artist, because they have more exposure and opportunity to, I don't know, demonstrate versatility. There's something like very compelling about them too. I said this in Richmond, but like they're like so pretty, it's kind of hard to watch them or like look at them. But it also makes like everything that they're doing on screen just completely magnetic. I love this song. It's going into my like bop playlist for sure. Yeah, it's weird. I don't have this like insane level of hype, but I just feel like I like it and I want to see more. And to that effect, this feeling that I have of like supreme competence from them, I do wonder if this is something that they've had from the very beginning. And to that effect, let's check out Black Mamba because, yeah, it looks like 5 years ago, the K-pop landscape was very, very different from what I've been seeing as I like slowly have reacquainted myself with everything. There's no way that they will have had this kind of through line of competence and like polish since the very beginning. There's no way. So, you know, they'll see, I think that I'll see sparks of this. I'll see like pieces of it glittering through, but it'll be really interesting to see because 5 years is, all things considered, not that long, but like if you think of 5 years in a post-COVID era, a lot can change. Okay, so it looks like this was actually released in November of 2020. So, what kind of stamps of COVID are we going to see inside of this? Okay, here we go. Whoa.
I'm addicted 끊임없이 말을 걸어주는 나의 Aespa 이런 교감 너의 존재 날 다른 차원으로 이끌었지 난 세상 중심에 You're in the flesh 내 모든 액션 어린 너의 힘을 키워 Son 언젠가부터 sink out 너 이제까지 뭐야 더 이상 못 찾겠어 너의 유혹에 섞인 건 Black Mamba
Sure.
넌 광야를 떠돌고 있어
Considering this era, I think this was like around-ish the time that like, oh, maybe this is Blackpink Shutdown or Pink Venom. you can see the like chokehold that Blackpink had on the industry at that time, because globally they were setting the standard. It's very interesting to see. It's not a copy, obviously not. SM would never, but they kind of do sometimes. They like take elements of what's popular and use that to inform the starting grounds, the kind of soil that they're planting their artists into. This is really fascinating. You can see a sort of like projected confidence here. It's not quite the like innate, deeply held thing, but you can see, like I said, flashes of where they'll end up going later on. Also, the like super bright, vibrant colors is kind of giving me whiplash over the more cool, like desaturated that we see in a lot of modern era K-pop. Specifically, I'm thinking of like ITZY and NMIX's recent releases, but also like Hearts to Hearts has this very like cool, almost desaturated. It's definitely in reaction to the like hypersaturation of the past. That was so cool. What? That's so cool. Wow, a bridge. Cool. I like this. Cool. Okay, I want to see the last little chunk here, but first, there's a couple of things that are running through my head. The first is, if anybody knows, it's like a super Aespa stan, what were the filming conditions like for this? Because considering the time that it comes out, November 17th of 2020, either they filmed this before the lockdown of it all, and they kind of had it in the barrel, or do you think that they quarantined everybody in this set together? Because it is a box set, which means that you can create like individual spaces. It would have been safe as long as like the filming crew is, in protective equipment. But having a group this large that's together, it wouldn't be difficult for a company like SM, who has their own dorms and the like, to have quarantined all of these members together in order to produce something like this. But I am curious about the back end of that. Also, this song is incredibly well balanced. I I did see, as I was saying, like a almost influence, a conversation with maybe what Blackpink and YG was doing at the time. But this is obviously very unique and is clearly its own thing. And I think that a large part of that is the balance in this song, the way that each individual element leads into the next, and especially that bridge was it provided like the perfect contrast to the like heavier, more dramatic hip hop elements, which I think clearly sets them apart from artists like Blackpink and what they were doing in that era. Wow, I am liking this a lot more now that we're like quote unquote done with it. How much did this cost? Holy production. Wow. Very cool. Dude. That's a debut. Holy crap, that's a debut. What? Okay. This is almost a perfect debut. There is the piece of it that's tied into like the current like prevailing headwinds of K-pop, where they're riding into a pre-existing storm, right? There's just enough of this that speaks to them as as a unique group. You can see pieces of what they will become, and this also has a very unique quality to it, and there's like a sense of depth and epicness to it that it's hard to give to groups that are debuting, because you don't know if the investment is going to be worth it or worthwhile. You don't know if a group is necessarily going to be successful. SM does have the added benefit of pretty much ensuring success because of their relationships within the industry, you know, for better or worse. But it still is a very big commitment for something that you don't know how the public is necessarily going to react. Wow. Wow. Also, I really like the balance of this. Is almost like if you've seen Batman and Robin, the like what was it, like in late 90s with Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. It gives that like sort of hyper pop, super saturated, and then it's balanced with this sort of like neon futuristic. Oh, and then the graphics in this, and like the like almost Queen of the Damned. Ooh, yeah. If they were really taking inspiration from that, that would be so cool. Nice. Yeah, the elements, the pieces are all here. You can see that they're comfortable in dancing and performing. There is that sort of like still kind of nervous energy that you get with younger groups. But, you know, there's not really a way around that. And as we can see from Lemonade, like that settles into holy crap. Wow. Okay, so with SM, from what I've been reading, we're in like a post Isuman era with SM. I don't know when it was that he left as CEO. In my opinion, thank God he's gone. Well, didn't he like start another project? You'll have to let me know. I'm very curious about the details of all of that. Well, what's known anyway. But SM needed something like that. It was very like rooted into a lot of like old political structures, old ways of doing business that we even saw and explored in like several dramas from the era that I come from, um, where the politics had a lot more to say than the quality of the work itself. So if we're coming out of that kind of era and into something where what needs to come to the forefront is artist ability and the ability for them to create things that kind of speak to a global audience, and I think that's a good thing, especially considering the weight of soft power that K-pop has given to Korea. Yeah, if it can be rooted in a sense of authenticity and creative expression and freedom, and if we can see the heart of these artists, then I think that will eventually have a much greater and better global effect for Korea on the world stage than the politicking and hierarchical nature of previous iterations of the K-pop industry. So yeah, I want to check out more from Aespa. This is freaking cool. It's freaking cool. And also, specifically, I'm thinking about how did they follow up Black Mamba? That's a really big and bombastic and flashy entrance into the scene. So it seems like they would have had like a really strong trajectory after that to get to where they are now. I can't wait to check out more. And of course, when I do, I will put those reaction videos into my Aespa playlist, which is where you'll find this one as well. And I'll have that linked here and in a video description down below. If you have some favorites from Aespa that you want to see me check out, please let me know all about those. And like I said, I did have those questions about how maybe like Black Mamba was filmed and the circumstances around that. But in general, I love learning lore about artists, especially from their fans. So if you have anything that you want to share with me so that I can get to know the group a little bit better, I'd love to hear from you down in the comments below. For now, that's it. And hopefully I see you in the next Aespa videos. If not, maybe another comeback versus debut. That's it for now. Bye.